And we'll go into Cheetah. So let's go to apps and we'll go to Cheetah. And you guys will get to see kind of my thought process of how I'm putting this together. So I'm going to look for my team website, which is right here. There it is, welcome. And then I'm going to go to edit site. And I did a couple of things ahead of time. If you look, I've got my blog page for the feed right there. And then if I keep going down, there's my post page right there. And then I can also see my blog pages right here. You see that? And then I haven't added them to a membership area yet, so I'll probably do that after a while too. But right now I just want to keep them out of a membership area so I don't have to keep logging in to get access to them. But so I've got everything that we did last week on Tuesday, I've already done. So now we're going to go in and take a look at how I've configured them. So I'm going to go into the feed page first, and I'm going to click edit page. And you're going to see what that feed page looks like that I've done. And I made it really simple. I did just a kind of a white header up here. Actually, I think I might change that to a blue header and make it a little bit smaller. Maybe move that down just a little bit like that. Just like that. Create a little bit of space like that. Yay me. And let's make this blue just because I can. Let me move you guys down a little bit. And we'll go to panel and colors. And let's see if I've got my colors in there. No, we'll just make it a general.
Just a minute to find my shoe. You've been good. I haven't let you out.
I'm so glad you're letting the doggy out, Darla. All right, so I've got my little divider there, and you're going to see in a minute that this page actually has a global header attached. So when we look at the live page, you're going to see my global header at the top of this. So I don't have to put a header with a menu on because I already added my global header. So all I've done so far is I just put a little bar here. Then this one, this little element right here is just when I click on it, it's the blog news slider. That's all this is. And this is one of the things that we're going to look at tonight. If I go to add, element, and then go down here to blogs, I think it could be a blog post. Nope. Blog featured. Nope. So it might be something like this, blog slider. Okay. So that's one of the elements that we're going to take a look at separately tonight. And then the next thing I have is down here in another panel, I've got the blog feed. And right now there's only one blog post in there. So you only see one post showing. But remember, I can go into this little star and I can say how many of those blog posts do I want to show on the page. And so right here, I'm showing that I want to show 10 of them on the page. So if I had 20 posts, 10 of them would be showing on this page. Okay, so just scroll it right down to the bottom, right? I've got the clean theme. We kind of talked about this already, how to set up this feed by clicking that little star. I'm showing the author, I'm showing the categories, I'm showing the thumbnail, I'm showing the date that it was written, I'm showing the content, and I'm showing the read more button. And my read more button actually says read more. I haven't changed that at all. And the date format is month, day, and year. So I'm going to click save there. So you can see how I've got my feed page set up. Now I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to go back to my page list and I'm going to go to the post page. And this is where each individual post shows. So I'm going to click edit on that page and you'll see what that page looks like. So this one came with your logo here. Click delete that. Global header on that page. Delete that color to that blue color. So hopefully we'll get it close to what we had before. So blue, there we go, because blue is my favorite color. And I will shrink it up just a little bit. There we go. Great. Fantastic. All right, so now here is my post element. This is the thing that automatically comes with the post page. And you can see that I've got the formatting of a post. It doesn't show the individual post in here, but it shows what it would look like. And remember, I can format it by going to that little star. And this is where I can choose everything that I want to show up. Okay. And then on the right-hand side are some more formatting tools where I can choose the size, the colors, the title style, author style, category style, and some advanced stuff. This is also where I can take it and make it a little bit shorter like this. We'll extend the panel like this. We'll make it shorter, shorter, shorter. And now we can actually go in and add a sidebar. This is where you would add a sidebar on this post page. So let's talk about adding a sidebar and what we want that to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and click Elements. And I'm going to go in here and find just a box. That's where I'm going to start, is a box. So down here, box. And I'll get the empty box right here and pull it over to the side. And now I can start building a sidebar that I want to show inside of my post page. And here I can put advertisement. I can put anything I want to. I can put Shelly is awesome with a link to the shellyisawesome.com, whatever I want to do here. So this is a great place to put different things on your blog. And this is where we can put some of the blog elements. And we'll look at some of those blog elements individually in just a few minutes. But this is your traditional sidebar. So I'm going to just do add elements, and I'm going to go into text. And we're just going to label this bad boy so that when we look at the live version, you guys will see that this is a sidebar. Let me see if I can get the text to stay in there. There we go. There we go. And we'll put sidebar. There we go. And we'll shrink that up a bit because it's way too big. Better, better, better. Now, for you guys that are doing the Google AdSense and stuff like that, this is where Google AdSense is going to be really, really cool, because we're going to be able to get some Google AdSense code and put it into that sidebar so that we can start getting paid for people that click on the links inside the sidebar. So even if they don't go and choose to buy something of ours that we put in the sidebar, if they choose to click on a Google link, ads link, we can make some money that way, or we can even do some affiliate stuff. Like say you've got a blog about technology, you can put Amazon affiliate products in there. You can get some great code to drop in there and supplement what your blog is about by giving them access to specific technology that you might be writing about in your blog. And if you put those in your sidebar and they click it and buy it from Amazon, you actually make money. So that is a really neat way to kind of supplement what you're doing with your blog. So I'm going to stretch this blog out just a little bit to bring it up against that sidebar. And then we've got a footer right here that's got some articles. It's looking for some articles and it says no articles found. So that's okay. We're going to leave those right there for now, but they're under posts. So right now we're just going to leave this as save. And then that's fine. So we've played with our feed page. We've played with our post page. Let's take a look at what it looks like live with that one post that we put in so far. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Cheetah. And here's my feed page. So I'm just going to go here to the triple dots, and I'm going to go to the website page. And so this is what it's looking like, that first post that I put in. And this top part is a scrolling post. So it's looking for more posts to actually scroll across. It's only got one, so it's scrolled away already. But then down here, I've got my first post. This is where the feed is at. So if I had a second post, it would be right underneath it. If I had a third post, it would be right underneath that. Fourth post, it would be right underneath that, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that is what that page is looking like right now. Now, if I go to this post and I click read more, when I click it, it should take me to the post page, which is right here. And all I did was put some simple text in there. And the cool thing about this post page is that we've got the share automatically in there. I love this because now every single post, you're going to be able to either get the copy of the link directly. You can share it via email. You can share it on Facebook. You can share it on Twitter, Pinterest, or LinkedIn. So you can actually do all of that, which is fabulous because if somebody's reading your blog, they're going to be able to share it really, really easily. I think I had a question. Let me stop sharing for a second. Bonnie, go ahead.
With the scrolling blog, is there a way that they can have it so at the end it either repeats or it stays right on there? Because when it looks,
yeah, I've got that request into them. Yeah, because I think the maximum you can put on there is like 8 or 10 or something. So if they're on that screen for any amount of time and it scrolls through all of them, it just goes whoop and disappears.
right? Because we saw that on what Linda was doing, that it went through it and then it stopped.
Yeah, right now I don't think there's a way to loop it. So I have requested that for the developers. Ryan.
Good morning all. Oh, hello.
Hello.
I just wondered, is that the best way to share for us, clicking that share link, or is it better to get the URL to share it on social media and places like that?
I think if you click that link, it's going to give you the exact URL. So that I think it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Yep. But you need to make sure that you go to the actual click the read more and then get the URL. It's not just the URL of the blog page, because remember, if you go to the blog page without clicking the read more to go to the page, then you're only going to the skeleton of the page. It has to have the click from the read more so that when it opens that post page, it has the correct URL parameter at the end to be able to get the correct article to bring into that page. Okay. So that's really the important thing. I've had a lot of people that have messaged me and they said the blog's not working. I've been to the post page and there's nothing on there. What they did was they went directly to the post page. They didn't go to the feed page and then click a read more to be able to get that full URL to show the article in the skeleton of the page.
Yeah, I had a little bit of, I started putting on the post page several posts thinking I needed to set it up like that. And then on the feed page, that post was repeated, I think, from memory.
Yeah, you're probably like, what the crap?
Yeah. Cool.
I had another one today too that said, so when I have the feed page and it says read more, how do I put the link in there for it to go to the right page? And I said, it's magic. You don't have to. It'll do it all by itself. And he was like, nuh-uh, you're kidding. I'm like, nope, not at all. So we have magic in our blog.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah, it's really, really exciting. So now that you've seen kind of the basic structure, I want to create a brand spanking new page. And we're going to take a look at all the elements that you can use that are not only usable on the feed page and on the post page, but these are going to be usable in any page on your website that you want to use. Okay. So if you've got a home page, right, and it's not one of the blog pages, it's just a regular home page, you can pull these elements in and then configure them how you want them to look. And it looks like you've got a little bit of a blog right on that home page. So that's kind of the magic that we're going to show tonight. And I'm super excited because these are so valuable in being able to create a fully functional website that is really, your blog is surrounding it. You want them to go to those articles and read them and be active on your website. So let's jump in and take a look at some of these elements and see what they can do, and prepare to be amazed. So here we go. So I'm going to go back into my Cheetah website, and right here, I'm just going to click a brand new page. So it's going to be just an empty page, nothing in it. So we'll create a new page and we'll go testing elements. We'll test blog elements. That'll be better. So testing blog elements, and we'll do the title, the same name, just like that. Description, same name. And there we go. And page template, we'll leave it blank. SEO settings look great. And we'll go save. Fantastic. So now I've got the testing blog elements page, and I'm going to click edit page. So there should be absolutely diddly squat on this page. There we go. And we're just going to add a panel. So add panel and a blank panel. So there we go. And we'll keep this first title, and we're going to stretch that panel out a bit to play with it. And now let's go ahead and start looking at these blog elements to see what we can do. Now, remember, we only have one post in here right now, only one post. So when we start pulling in the elements, we have to remember there's only one post. We may have to go in and add a couple of posts so we can see the full functionality of some of these elements. So I'm going to click add element, and we'll go with blog featured first. So if I click blog featured, we've got two options. So we can choose option number one, where we've got the thumbnail at the top. We've got some of the content here, and then it looks like we have a read more button. So it's more like a portrait type view, or we can click the second one. That's more of kind of a landscape view. Let's do both just because we can. So we're going to drag one of them across, and there's that one. And this one was the post area. Let me go back here, elements, and we'll drag this one across. There we go. So we got both of them now, so we can see exactly what each one of them are going to look like. But I want you to notice that no articles were found. So let's take a look at what that said again. So it's elements and blog featured. So what we have to do is we have to create a post or two that are featured posts. Remember, we've got that ability to create posts that are special, kind of like when my mom used to call me special. Maybe not the same thing, but anyway, we can actually say that some of the posts are special, and we want to kind of pull them out because they are more special than the other posts. And we haven't really identified any blog articles as featured yet. So let's go ahead and click save on this. And that's fine. And then let's go into our blog, and let's see if we can create a couple of featured posts and see if we can bring them into this page. So I'm going to relabel this and say blog featured. So we know exactly what those items are supposed to be. And we'll click save. And that's fine. And now let's jump into the blog and see if we can create some featured posts. I'm going to go in here to Cheetah, and we'll go into the blog. And let's see if I can find, there's my Team Awesome blog right there. So I'm going to click edit blog, and I have one whole post. So I'm going to go over here to my posts, and there's my post right there. So I'm going to go ahead and update this post. And I've got the thumbnail. I like the thumbnail, so I'm going to stick with that. But I'm going to add a little bit more content. So I'm going to go over here to my Trello board. And here's the content that I had. And let me see if I can grab an email to go with it. So here's an email right here. We'll just click and drag that and copy all of it. There we go. And we'll jump back into that and actually add that in just like that. So we added some of that, some more information, so it's a little bit more full. I'll click save and then go to post list. And then I'm gonna I'm gonna click on this triple dot, and right here where it says featured, we're gonna click that and call it featured. So we now have a blog post that's actually featured. We're calling it featured. So let's add another one just because we can. So I'm gonna go over here and go to new post. And we'll go back to our little Trello board. So I think it's right there. Let's see if we can find another email. Let's see, here's the email right here. And we will click and drag through all of that and copy. And then we'll go back and we will paste. So there's our other post. And I'm going to do a title. We'll call this post 2. And the thumbnail, we'll go and see if we can find another image we can use. So I have about a bazillion images. Let's see, how about one right here, looks good. So we'll add it in, we'll highlight it and select. So that's our thumbnail. Categories, I'm gonna call this social media, and I'm gonna call it email swipes. I want you guys to notice that I put 2 categories in there. So you're not limited to just one category. You can have more than one category, okay?
I have a question.
Okay, hold on just a second, Marcella, and then I'll get you, okay? Let me kind of walk all the way through this first. For authors, I'm gonna go ahead and choose myself as the author. For the time cycle, I'm gonna choose instantaneous to make sure that it goes out immediately. And then let me move you guys out of the way. For custom URL, if I wanted the URL at the top of the page to have a custom URL, I could put that here. And then I don't want to select a template. So that's everything I want to do. I don't want to play too much with the fonts and everything here in the post. You guys can play with that and make it pretty. But I'm going to go ahead and click save. And let's go to our post list. So now we've got 2 posts in here. We've got one that's featured and one that's not. Okay, everybody with me? So when we look at that page, we look at the live version of that page, it's supposed to show the featured posts. So hopefully what we're going to see is this post right here, but not this post right here. Okay, so Marcella, let me stop sharing and let you ask your question. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hi.
Sure. Hi.
You chose a picture for the thumbnail, but what if I don't want any picture after I chose one and then I decided I don't have a picture because I couldn't left that space in blank, like nothing. I couldn't. So what I'm asking is, if you go back to the post that you already did, you put a picture for the thumbnail. What if you don't want any now?
So if you don't want your thumbnail to show, you need to pick a thumbnail, because if you share your article, it has to have a share image. So if you don't want the thumbnail to show when it's listing the blog entries,
Yes.
when you go into that feed element or the post element and you hit that little star for either one of those, you can uncheck show thumbnail.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Gil, go ahead.
Sorry, had to unmute. Just a couple of little feature enhancements. I was just thinking, when you're looking at the blog post page there, it would be quite nice if there was a little indicator on the thumbnail that shows which are the featured posts.
Yes, I agree. That's actually been submitted as well.
Great. And one other thing is, when you have to select an author, most of the time or for most of the sites I do, there is only one author. Could we have it so that you can just default to that one? If there is just one author, could it default to that, rather than you having to select it each time?
I'm not sure. We can certainly ask for that, but it's great because all you have to do is type in like the first couple of letters and it will pull it up. So it's really intuitive, because I mean, if you're like me, you're kind of flying and not thinking about it. So I'm already doing where I just type SHE and it pulls it up and then I just click it. So, but we can definitely request that.
Great.
Bonnie?
Just a quick thing. If you're copying like some old WordPress blogs and you're copying them and pasting them in there, show them that, just to make sure that people know how to unformat the stuff, because otherwise it holds on to the headings, and it's a real pain in the ass. And so then people were taking the information, like Linda and I were working together, she was taking it and she was putting it into Notepad. I go, why are you doing that? She says, because it's got the thing. So can you?
Yeah, it takes up the formatting. Yeah, that's actually a great way to do it though. Yeah, the next time I go into the post, I'll actually show you how to remove the formatting.
Yeah,
But
here.
yeah, let's take a look at the live pages real quick and see what we've got so far. So I'm going to share my screen. And we'll go back here where the pages are, and let me go ahead and republish. Every time that I work inside the blog, I need to remember to republish, because the blog itself is not necessarily connected, like if you make a change on a page. So if you do any work in the blog, before you take a look at the live version, click republish, and that will get any connections connected for you, so that the changes that you made inside the blog area will be reflected on the live page, because all those connections will be there. So make that a habit. If you go into anywhere that's not a page and make a change, that you click republish. Okay, that's actually really important. And then right here, test blog, we can actually click here and go to the website. Let's see what we got. Oh, I think I got to publish it. So let me go back here, and we'll go to, let me see if I can find that site. Dun, 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 dun. Save and assign. And let's try it again. So we'll go here and we'll go to website. There we go. And it's still thinking. So we're going to pretend like that's working perfectly, and we're going to keep going. So those are the blog featured items, and we'll go back into that page and we'll make sure that we configured it correctly. Click on here, and I'm going to click the star, and it says, what do you want to do for featured components? And here we go. It's just asking us which components you want to do. So I think that we said that we wanted the first post on there. Is that right? And I'm not sure why that has to be chosen. It should be there automatically, but that's okay. So we'll click save. And there it is. Oh my gosh. And then here we go. We'll click this one and click the star and feature component first post. And there it is. Yay. So let's go ahead and save and take a look at what it's doing. Here we go. That's fine. And we'll go to the live page. Here we go, we'll refresh it. And there we go. So we had to actually choose those items to be able to show in that particular element. So that's weird, but that's okay. Also, I want to go ahead and click on here and go over to this side. And remember that we can change the formatting of this. So we can change the size of it. We can change the colors. And this has got color 1, color 2, color 3, color 4, color 5. So you know those are going to be changing. I've submitted all of those to the developer so they can change those to exactly what area of the post they're changing. And then you can round the borders if you want to. So you can take those corners and round them. And then you've got the title style. So you can change right here where the title is and what it looks like. You can change the size. You can change the size on mobile. You can change the color of the font and then how it actually is formatted. And then you can actually do a text decoration like overline, line through, and underline. Content style. So right here where the short blurb of content, you can style that one by changing the font, the size, the mobile size, the color, the justification, bold, italic, and any text decoration. The button style, that button right there. So if you click that, we can change the color of the button, the size of the text on the button, the font style, whether that text on the button is centered, justified, bold, italic, and you can put some decoration on there. We can change the way the author looks. So right there is where the author name is at. So we can change what that looks like. We can change the categories. And Bonnie, you'll notice that there's spacing in between them now. See that? Yay, us. And then we've got some advanced features where we can work with layering, and we can save elements as something that we can use later in another website or on another page.
Shelley, why is the read more button on top of text?
All we have to do is make that content area bigger. That's all we need to do. Let me click on this right here. Click on the panel. You guys are kind of blocking my view here, so I'm gonna move you over to the side. Move this down, and then move that down, then you can see a little bit better. There we go. All right, so hold on. There's our panel right there. All right, so let's take a look at why that's happening. Okay, so if you'll see right here, the email, it says email copy or something like that. So there's spacing right here that I actually put in there. So there's a couple of spaces, and then email copy is the next word. but I could work with that and actually change some of the settings in there. So right here where it says content height, I can actually change that to show more content if I want to. So Bonnie, right here, there's a couple of line spacing between where it says subject line and where it says email copy. So if I didn't like that line spacing, I could go in there and remove it, because remember, it's taken from the first part of the article. We still don't have the short description area yet that we can put in there so that it would have just the short description.
Why does it have email copies? Is email copy the short read more? What does email copy mean?
That's what I put in there. This is the email swipe for my team.
Oh, I thought that was like a standard thing, and I'm like, what?
No, this is what I put in there for the post. This is the actual button right here. So if I want the button to be a little bit higher, I can just reduce that content height and get the button up a little bit higher. Okay. So that's all that is right there. Is I've got spacing inside my content for the actual article. Okay, got it? Okay, so we've got the blog featured area. Let's look at some more elements. So I'm going to go ahead and add.
Shelley, can I ask a question about that before you go?
Yeah, hold on. Let me look at your eyeballs. Okay, great. Go ahead, great.
That feature that you just put in there, how does it relate to a regular blog that we have a feature? And what if we have multiple features in there in the regular blog?
Well, on those particular elements, you're going to identify a blog article. So it's not necessarily looking at everything that you've identified as featured. It's looking at, I want this article to be featured on this panel. So you're identifying one blog article that you want to put into that element.
Okay, so as long as it's not part of the two blog pages, it's not tied directly to the blog and pulling information from the blog. We have to tell it what to do.
Yes, and here's the cool thing. Let's say that you've got a home page and you've just written a kick butt article, and you know it's kick butt. So you want it on that front page in the very top so that people see it right away. So you can pull this element in and actually have it at the top of the page, and it will pull that one article there for you with a little blurb from your article and the read more, so they can click it and go straight to the post page.
Okay, but it's, if we've got 5 articles that are featured, it's not going to pull all 5 of them. Okay, all right.
Not that way.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's jump in and check out some more. Oh, another question. I think I heard somebody. No? Was it me just hearing voices again? Okay, thank you. All right, let's jump in and take a look at some more elements, you guys. So I'm going to go down to the next panel, and we're going to stretch this panel out a little bit and play with it a little bit. So here we go. Stretch that down a little bit. Stretch that down a little bit. And stretch that down a little bit. There we go. All right, so the next element that we're going to look at, if I go to add in elements, we looked at the blog feature. We pulled both of those. So I'm going to return, and we'll go back to where it says blog feed news. So if I click that, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different ones of those. So if you take a look at the format, the first one is 3 blog posts side by side. The next one is just 1 blog post in the center. The third one is 3 blog posts side by side, but the formatting is a little bit different. And the fourth one is 1 blog post that's bigger, but the formatting is a little bit different. So you can kind of see how this is working. You've got 2 different versions with 2 different designs. Okay, so you can pick from which one you want to do. So we're going to grab this one and drop it in. Oh my gosh, look at that. Yay. And oh wow, and look at that, +1, 2, 3, 4. That's really, really cool. And let me see if I can stretch our panel here. Stretch it down. There we go. And then this one was let me see what it was called again, the blog feed news. So we're going to put that right there. Blog feed news. It's post number. I'm gonna go to, and right here it says, this is really important. Okay, it says show 6 of them without the featured items. You remember that first post we said was featured? You remember that? This one, the type is without featured. If we click and go to all and then click save, it should now actually show all of them. So I'm going to go back and take a look again to make sure I saved it. So all, amount 6, headline, columns 3 should be okay. So I'm going to click save. And then I'm going to click save, and we're going to look at the live page and see what it does. Okay. So I'm going to click that's fine. And then let's go to this live page again, and let's see what it looks like. So I think that this is the live page. I'm going to refresh it and refresh it again. There we go. And there it is. There's both of them. So remember the format that we chose, that first one, it was side by side, right? So if I had a third post, it would show up right there. Okay, so that's another really neat element, because from this page, even though it's not a blog page, it's just a regular plain old page, right? But I put blog elements in there, and now I can actually click this read more, and it's going to take me to that post. Okay, so I can put that on any page that I want to. It doesn't have to be just a blog page. All right, so now let's go back into Cheetah Editor, and I'm going to do another panel with the second version of that. So I'm going to go to panels and blank panel, and I'm going to take this out. That's fine. And we're going to go to add elements, and on the blog feed, I'm going to choose the second style, and there it is right there. And there's the previous and next, and if I click on it, I'm going to get that star at the top. And here I can choose again, how many do I want to show? What type? I'm going to say all, so we can see both of our blogs, headline and columns. And this one has 3 columns, so we'll take a look what that looks like. And I'm going to click save. And then I'm going to drag my my panel down so it goes all the way to the bottom. There you go. Perfect. Okay, so now we got the panel there. I'm going to click save, and let's take a look at what the live version looks like. So I'm going to go back to the live. There we go. And I'm just going to hit refresh. This it looks like. Okay, there's the one we just did. And refresh again. And there's this one. And this one, apparently it has one big one and then a little one. So this one would most likely be this one will show, and then it'll do 3 across. Okay, so it has a very different format, right? And you can start kind of playing with it to see exactly what you want to use for your blog, which is really, really, I think this is really exciting, because now you've got so many tools to actually start showing. I'm going to refresh it again because it looks like the panel is not stretched. Yeah, see, the panel is not stretched all the way down. So let's go back to Cheetah, and we'll stretch that panel all the way down. Looks like it needs to be. And then we've got formatting. So remember, we can always do this. We can click on here, and we can go for this post item. We can start changing what size it is right here. So there's the sizes. We can change the thumbnail height, the thumbnail width, the content height, content width, title width. So you can play with all of these to make sure that it is the exact size that you want it to be. And playing with those is actually really fun. Also, remember, you can do this right here too and change the size of it. So let's change the size that way and take a look at what it looks like on the page. Because remember, you may want this as like almost like a sidebar instead of taking up the whole page. So you can shrink up the size. And we'll put that right there, just on the right-hand side. And let's click save. And that's fine. Let's take a look at what that did and how it looks different. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the live page again. We'll go here. And we'll refresh it again to get all the changes. And there it is right there. So you see you've got the first one that is the main one, the newest one. And then it would put the blog post underneath 3 in a row, because that's what we told it to do in the settings. Okay, so are you guys seeing how valuable this starts to become now that you can grab these elements and start to configure them almost any way that you want to be able to use on any page? So let's keep going. There's lots more elements that we want to look at. So I'm going to delete some panels here. So let me delete this one. And we'll delete this one. No, we'll keep that one. We'll go to add, and let me delete this entry right here. This entry right here. There we go. And now let's take a look at some other ones that we have for elements. So we were in blog newsfeed, and remember, we looked at this one. We looked at this one, and these are basically the same. It's just that the formatting is different, because you'll see that there's blue buttons here and black buttons here. Okay. So let's go to return and look at some more elements. So that was the feed news. Let's look at blog general, and we'll pull this one over. You can see that it's really wacky, right? The size of it is really wacky. So you could actually drag it and change the size of it. Remove this one. So you can see that when you start working with some of these bigger blog sizes, you have to actually kind of play with them a little bit to get the size that you want. And entries here, it's really weird. There we go. So post number 2, let me drag it down a little bit more. There we go. So you can see once I kind of reach the size of the image, that it'll start kind of stretching out weird. Okay. So as I click on this, remember I've got control here. If I click the star, I can show the latest news. I can show the featured news. I can show the total of 3 items. I can show the title or not. I can show the description or not. This could be just the thumbnail that shows, not any description. And do I want to redirect the post to the post page? And that would be a yes. So I'm going to click save. And I'm going to put that in the center of the page, just like that. And I'll click save. And let's take a look at what that looks like on the live page. So I'm going to click that's fine. And close. And then we'll take a look at the live page and what it looks like. We'll refresh. There we go. So that's what that one looks like. And if I click on it, and you see it sliding, right? So if I click on it, it's going to take me to that post. And if I let it slide to the next one, let's let it slide. And there we go, first post. Okay. So again, some really neat stuff. And you'd have to go in, and if you want the thumbnail to be a certain size, you can click size and start changing the size of everything. So change the width, change the height. You can make it smaller so it can fit inside of a sidebar. So just think about this kind of being on the side of the page, and you'd have to kind of play with the settings to make sure you've got the right dimensions to show the image correctly. Because as you can see, I set the width so that it's cutting off part of the image. So I'd have to kind of play with that size a little bit to get it to work, to be able to fit with that image. Do you see that? Or if I wanted to make it shorter, it's going to really make it weird. So then I have to make the width different to fit the dimension of that image. So it takes a little bit of work to actually make this kind of work, especially if you've got a specific area that you're working in. So you got to kind of play with those dimensions a little bit to make it work for you to be able to show that picture correctly. You see how that is working? Get it down just like that. Just like that. And remember that I could take that and go to the star, and I could say, don't show the title, so not, and save. And then all I have is the image. Okay, so when I take a look at this live on the live page, it would be sliding only the image that I did as the share image. Okay, does that make sense? Gil, go ahead.
I was really excited to see a slider, but then when I came to play with it, I was really disappointed because I want to use it for a blog category, because I was hoping to be able to use the blog for testimonials and have a category for testimonials. Is there a way of doing that?
I'm not sure if we have that yet, but I know that they've been talking about it. So we've got the latest news, then we've got the featured news. So if you wanted to put your testimonials as featured, and then when you've got your other lists, you take it without featured, so it doesn't show those testimonials with the other articles. You could possibly do it that way.
Yeah, trouble is I wanted to use the featured for completed projects that would show on the homepage. So I need both, really.
We'll work on it. I'm sure they're working on getting that for you. Bonnie, go ahead.
Rotation banner to do the testimonials and put it in there.
Yeah, rotation banner is actually a really good idea. That's a whole different element.
Well, you can't use that with the blog, though. No, that's what you see. It's a website for someone who's not very techie, and I was hoping that I could just let him into the blog pages. It's a really easy way of him entering the text without him having to really play around with the website.
So are you wanting a page that's going to only show the testimonials? Is that what you're working on?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also to have a slider on the homepage.
I don't know. Let me work on it. I think we might have a solution down later in some of the elements. Okay.
Great. Yeah. Lovely.
All right, so let me save this, and I want you to look at this now that it's smaller. And the reason I want to show you what it looks like now that it's smaller is because I want you to understand. Remember, we put that sidebar on that one page. If we had a sidebar, we could add this to the sidebar, and it would be sliding for us. It would be sliding our article. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So let me refresh. That was the big version. So there's a little version. So imagine that as a sidebar, and it's scrolling through your thumbnails, getting the attention of the user, right? and then they can click those items and go to the article. So really, really cool stuff. All right, let's jump in and look at some more elements. So I'm going to go to add elements. And this is basically
Julie, I had just one question about your pictures. Do you have specific dimensions for the pictures that you put there, because they looks all the same sizes and they look great?
Yeah, if I'm going to do images for each of my blog articles, I want them all the same size, because it's going to totally wig out if you try to do this size and then this size and then that size and then this size. It's going to be like, Carol, have you been drinking? It will not like you anymore. So when you talk about share images, try to be very consistent. Whatever size you choose, make sure every single share image that you use is that exact same size. And if you'll take a look, I'll give you a peek at my share images. Let me find them. Let's see, I've got my downloads. So all of my share images right here, they are all the same size. So if I click on that one, and I click on that one, and I click on that one, they're all the same size. So every time I add a share image, it's going to be the exact same size. So I have the dimensions that I need, whether I want it small or whether I want it big. I kind of know that ratio of what I need to do to make it look good, and it won't be cutting off part of the picture.
Shelly, I have a question.
Okay.
What size? What is the dimension of your share image? Is there a specific particular size you use, like 130?
You can actually use any size you want, but the one I'm using is 1,000 by 1,000.
Okay, great. Because that's very important. Thank you so much.
And they're pretty. They're really pretty.
Shelly, if I can add one thing to that,
Yeah,
any of you guys are using Canvas. So like that's what I use. And I do like the Facebook post, which is a square image. And like that, I save them all. They're all the same dimension. So I do it and then save it in a folder. So like that, just like Shelly has, they're all the same dimension.
Exactly. That's exactly how to do it, you guys. When you're talking about a blog, let me look at your eyeballs real quick. I have every blog entry that I'm going to make for the next year. I have the images, I have the content for the entire year. So it's easier that way, right? Because now I can put them in, and I can put a month in at a time. I just spend a Saturday, maybe 3 or 4 hours, putting my images in, putting my article in, saving, and I want this one to release on July the 1st. And then I'm going to put the next one in, and I want this one to release on July the 2nd. So I can do an entire month of releases, and I've got the images ready to go, and I've got the content ready to go, and I just drop them in. It's way easier, you guys, to go, okay, today I'm working on images and getting them done. And then tomorrow I'm working on the content and getting it done. And that way you kind of almost get an assembly line of what you're doing going, and that way you can get in a zone and get it done. Right? Does anybody else do that same thing? Yeah, great, right? I mean, if you're making images, isn't it a pain in the butt when you're going to do something like a post and you're like, man, okay, I got to create the image, then I got to create the content, then I got to put it all in, and you just feel like you're disjointed doing all of it. But when I sit down, I create a whole group of images, and I'm like, Shazam, good to go. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to sit down and do all my content to go with those images. Shazam, I'm ready to go. And then I sit down and actually put them inside the blog or put it in my auto poster or whatever I'm doing. Ryan?
That's really organized and awesome of you. I've done that a couple of times where I've transcribed YouTube videos and I've got the content there, and it does make it a lot easier when you've got the content ready to roll. So I agree with that. I just had a quick question, and you may have covered it, sorry. I just, with the image, I noticed there's the image in the blog post, and then I think it is the thumbnail. I haven't tested sharing it because I want to get quite a bit of content on before I start promoting people to that site. I just wondered which image, and I was just going to test it, but I thought if we're asking questions, it might help others. But is there an image on the actual blog post and a thumbnail image from memory? I was thinking which one would actually share if I shared it to Facebook. Is it? It's
going to be the thumbnail that's shared. When you go into that sidebar and it says title, something else, and image, I don't even remember what it says now, but anyway, thumbnail, you put that in, that's the share image. But if you add an image into the content area, then we're talking about a different story, because I have headers, and I'm having a devil of a time with the headers because I put them at the top of my blog post, and it's not responsive like I want it to be, to take that header and make it nice and neat. No matter how it shows on the page, it cuts it off and it makes it wonky and stuff like that. So that's one that I'm working with the developers on, because if you add an image into the blog content area, the article content area, it does some wackadelic things. So yeah, Chris, it's like, why did it do that to that picture? That picture is only that big. Why did it make it go up that big? It's really weird. So we're working with the developers to see if we can maybe get something like a responsive action out of it. So if you do put an image in there, it will respond. If you say, I want this image to be the width of whatever the blog post is, that it keeps the dimensions of the image and responds to the size of the blog post. But right now it's not.
Yeah, that's where the question came from, because I've been trying to put images in each blog post, but I've noticed, should I be picking a square one or a nice landscape? Yeah, okay, cool.
It's wacky, wacky, wacky. So we're working on that. Chris?
All right.
From what I'm seeing is that, because I have about close to half a dozen blogs already on there, and what I'm seeing is that when you have the image and then you have the text, if you move the image, the text is moving as well. And if you press enter for the lines, it changes everything on your blog. Yeah. So I just have to like keep on pressing 1 space, 2 spaces,
yeah,
to make sure.
It's crazy right now, but we are working with them to try to see if we can get images responsive inside that blog spot. So whatever size you make the image, it responds to whatever size the blog post is. So I don't know what that means and if they can do it, but we're going to keep working with that and try to make that happen. Okay.
Sounds good.
Greg, go ahead.
On the thumbnail, does anybody else notice that there's just me that Facebook has a new size for images now?
I haven't shared this size yet, but I think it should work. I don't know.
They've got two. They've got the old version, and then they've got a new version. And the new version, it totally changes everything. The ad space pictures are bigger.
I'll tell you what. Let's share it. Let's see what it looks like. Okay.
I had to do like 1280 by 720. My original, it used to be 400 by 250. I could share.
Let's share. What I want to do is share this. So let's go into the blog page. Hold on. Go down. We'll go to the feed page. And there's a feed. And we'll go into that one because that's a pretty purple. I don't really like purple very much, but that's okay. And then we'll go into Facebook. And we'll share this. And let's see what it looks like. So it's loading. There it is. Yay, us. And testing blog share. And then we'll find where it says post right there. So it's going on the news feed. Yay. And now let's take a look at Shelly's news feed. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. And there it is. So yeah, it actually
Shelly, that's the old one.
Yeah.
I mean, you're using the old Facebook.
I just tested it on mine and it looks fine on Facebook for mine.
Yeah, that's the old Facebook view you're using. You haven't switched.
Where do I go to the new one?
On the top right little triangle that goes down.
You might not want to. I don't like the new one.
She doesn't have the option yet. I have a lot of people with options.
Oh, okay.
I had tried to switch from
Well,
classic.
I have the new option. I'm switching it now. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, you wanna share your screen and show us what it looks like?
Okay. How do I do this? Share.
Oh, wait, I gotta give you permission. Sorry. Hang on. Let me find you. Where are you at, Chris?
I'm hiding.
Here we go. Co-host. Ready. You should have permission now to share.
Share. And share. Yeah, it looks fine right here.
It's still coming up for me. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, wow, that looks great. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it looks fine.
You're using the dark version, yeah.
Yeah, and then when you click on it, it goes directly to it. So it's kind of mine.
Hey.
Come on.
Yeah, there are different sizes between the old one and the new one.
Yeah.
It looks fine.
Interesting. Well, you know what? We may have to talk to the devs to make a special share image that's specific, the right size to be able to do the different classic Facebook versus the new Facebook.
The only problem is you don't know who's got what. I've got 2 accounts, and one of my accounts the new one, and one of the accounts the old one, and they're just totally different.
Yeah, same here.
So with like your groups and your pages, if you set it to go for the old one, it works fine on the new one. But if you set it on the new ones, it looks really wonky and it's missing things on the old one.
See, that's why I was saying, because I use Canvas, and with Canvas, it gives you an option for the pictures for Facebook itself. So like that doesn't matter if it's the old one or the new one, as you can see, it works fine on both. So that could be the issue. I don't know.
What are the dimensions of the images that you're using, Chris?
Let me pull it up right now.
And also, like Shelley, like even when we share a website on Facebook right now, instead of it showing the whole picture, it shows a little teeny box with the description next to it. So you always have your thumbnails cut off.
Okay, it's 940 by 788 pixels.
940 by 788.
Correct.
Okay.
Shelley, the post or the picture, a post that you made with the deck
Yes.
on my new Facebook account,
Mhm.
it shows 4 pictures in one frame.
Mhm.
It shows them all.
Ah.
Okay, and
Let me go
somebody
back.
else is showing one. Here's an ad for
And there's mine.
that's what I see in my. But also, if it's a smaller one, it'll show smaller. So I'm wondering if it's floating more and if it's just grabbing the width and it's expanding the length. 'Cause I've got a whole bunch of different posts here where the width is the same, but the length is different.
Not sure, Greg. I'll tell you what, that's one that I'll definitely jump on the devs with and see if we can't solve that dilemma. Because we definitely need good sized images that are good share images, so they're not being cut off. So let me dig deeper into that, and that may be something that we are able to improve later. You think?
Okay.
Sound good? Linda, go ahead.
I'm just curious because I'm doing a test trying to share the post, and I have the thumbnail image there, but it's picking up Builderall's image. Do I have to have it featured? Or something? It's just not picking up the image I have there. It's picking up the octopus.
Sometimes you have to go into Facebook debugger.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. You have to go into the debugger sometimes because if it picked up that page, that URL before you did the change it to a thumbnail, before you change the thumbnail, it did have the Builderall as a thumbnail, then it keeps that Builderall as the thumbnail.
Got it. Thanks so much.
So the debugger will fix that. It just scrapes it again and picks up the picture again.
Sometimes you have to scrape it in multiples of times, but that's okay.
Yeah, I know. That debugger is something else. All right, so let's keep playing with the elements. So I'm gonna jump in and we'll go back to Cheetah. There we are. There's our trusty little slider buddy right there. And let's see if we can add some more stuff to this. So I'm gonna go to add elements. And we looked at these already, the blog general. So I'm gonna go over here and let's take a look at blog groups. So here I'm gonna we got several of them. So let's kind of grab one and pull it over. And there it is. Oh, isn't that pretty? And we'll remove that slider for now. And I'm gonna put that in there and center it. And let's see what it looks like without doing anything to it. So I'm gonna save. And then that's fine. And we'll go to the live website and refresh. And let's see what that bad boy looks like without doing anything. So you can see that it takes that image and it kind of puts a shadow on it and makes it kind of pop out a little bit. And you can see that it's got the title right there. It's got the author right there. It's got the date right there. So it's got a lot of stuff on there already. That actually looks really, I really like the look of that. And then of course we've got the ability to work on changing it to make it look however we want to. So let's take a look at what we can do. We can actually click on the element and then go over here and we can change the different colors. We can change the sizes. So we can change the thumbnail height and width, the content height and width, the title height and width. And then all those are just pretty standard. And then if I go over here to the little mini toolbar and go to the star, now I've got the ability to change the theme. I can show the author. I can show the date. Let's not show the author. And let's not show the date because we're dangerous. And then here is where, who was asking about this? Was it Sharon? You were asking about category. Here we can actually choose a category, right? So was that you, Sharon, that was asking about the category? No, who was that? I fell asleep when that
It was
happened.
me.
It was, oh, it was Gil. Okay.
It was for the slider that I was hoping for.
I was really paying attention, I promise.
Yeah, because I'd seen this and then I went to the slider and I thought, oh no, it's not there.
Well, we can all back to the slider that we can pull it out. Put that on list of to-dos to just kind of take down. So let me add that to my to-do list. Add category choice to slider. There we go. Perfect. But now we can filter out by category. We can filter out by author. We can filter out by the featured or all of them. We can filter out by the date. Sorry, we can put them in order of date or by views. How many do we want to show? 3 is plenty. Do we want to do a headline or and how many columns do we want to do? So let's go ahead and save. And I took out the a couple of things on there. So let's do save. And that's fine. Now let's take a look at it again and see what it did. So right here, I'm going to refresh and refresh again. And you see that it took out the name, the author, and it took out the date. So we can actually, you know, kind of change that up a bit and see what it does. And then of course, either of these, if I click on them, I'm going to end up going to that post. So really, really cool stuff. You can see, guys, that just think about this a minute. This is not a blog page. This element can go on any page you want it to go on, right? That's the exciting thing. So let's go back into Cheetah and we'll take a look at what other elements that we have in there. So I'm going to delete that one. And then we'll go back to add and elements. And we did that first one. Let's take a look at, let's say this one.
Shelly, you said this is not a blog page. You can add those elements to any websites you're talking about?
To any web page in this website.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be specifically on the feed blog page. It can be on any page for that website.
Any page. Yeah, let's take a look.
Oh,
so
wow.
see those 2 pages? Those are the ones that the blog put in there. So that's the feed page and that's the post page. But look at all these other pages I have. I can put those elements we've been looking at on any of these pages. And because the blog is connected to this website, it's going to, from any page, take that element, connect to the blog, and pull the articles we said to pull.
Man, you just gave me more homework to do now.
Let me look at your eyeballs, because that's why I was so excited about tonight, right? That was the big idea, was holy crap on a cracker, any page.
Because I've been putting everything on the feed, but because I've been working on my travel agency website. So now I can actually take them and put it on different deals. Oh man, this is wild.
Look, think about this, Chris. Think about this. Let's say that you're doing a travel blog and you're like, I do an article on Hawaii and I do an article on Bora Bora. I've never been there, but I'd love to go there. I do an article on Dubai. Oh my gosh, I'd love to go to Dubai, right? Cape Town, South Africa. So I have all these places that I want to go. And I have beautiful images of those places, right? So I've got the images and I've got the article. So you go to the blog, yeah, you can look at those articles you gave me. But now on your home page, in the sidebar where you've got that extra white space that you can utilize for advertising, you can take those thumbnail images and just have them sliding across. So here comes Hawaii. Here comes Bora Bora. Here comes Cape Town, South Africa. And when they click on it, they go straight to that article. And it's not even a blog page. It might be, you know, just an information page or contact us page or whatever, right?
Awesome.
I know. So
Jenny,
that's what I want you guys to do.
You know you're blowing my mind. I still have to stay calm, okay? I can't get loose. You know I'm having an issue containing this, okay? You know, I don't know why you're doing it. I'm going to be up for the next 3 weeks with no sleep. I'm going to have to order toothpicks to hold my eyelids up. I'm going to have to order 2 grains off of Amazon. You know you're getting to me. You know how I am, okay? Good Lord, why? I'm like, why?
That's the beauty of this blog. It's so much more than just that feed page and that post page. It is any page you want. You can put blog elements on there and supplement that information that you've got on that page and actually lead to a blog article that you want them to go to. And of course, anytime you can keep them surfing your site and staying on your site, that's a good thing, right? And then think about this too. You get them to, Chris, you get them to click on that Hawaii picture. They're like, ooh, look at that picture. So they click the Hawaii picture and they go to the post page where they read your article on Hawaii. But what you did was you took the post element that shows that article and you kind of made it a little bit not so wide. So now you've got a sidebar, and on that sidebar, you've got more places that they can click to go to specific articles, or you can have some affiliate advertising there, or you can have some Google AdWords stuff there, or, I mean, it's just limitless what you can do, right? Yeah, so that's thinking about this. The whole idea of what we're learning tonight, you guys, is about the real estate inside your website, right? How to maximize that real estate inside your website to where, yes, you can have white space, but don't have a lot of white space, get in there and utilize that white space to get the stuff that you need on that website to keep them engaged, keep them on your website, and get them to your offers, because that's kind of the whole idea of a website. Dominic? Oh, sorry. Let me get Dominic, Tyree, and then I'll get you. Okay.
Yeah, I actually had this question earlier when you were putting in that sidebar. So that sidebar is a box, it's not an iframe, or are you just like embedding HTML code into the box? How does that work?
No, it's just a box like any other box. Like when you're creating a website, a web page, and you pull in a box, and you add a little bit of text in there, and then you add an image in there, or you add a video in there, it's all connected to the box. And if you click the box, it drags it all with it. Same idea. You put that sidebar there, and you can put some text in there. You can put another blog element in there. You just pull it in exactly like you do any other box on any other page. And then when you're done, if you want to move that box around to a different place, you can. But it just kind of is a box to hold everything. When you're, I kept it as a purple outline. I may take away the outline so that you can't see the outline, but everything would be stacked neatly inside that box.
Okay, I thought that sidebar was being used for something else. My bad. Okay.
No, it's all for putting whatever you want to put in there. So I've got sidebars on some of my sites that talk about the awesomeness of Shelley Turner. Go to the Shelley Turner is Awesome website, and go to this website, and go to that website. And by the way, here's a picture of my granddaughter, and here's blah, blah, blah. I can put anything in that sidebar I want to.
They don't have a box big enough for your awesomeness. I'm sorry. You can't put that in a box. You can't put it in a box. I'm sorry.
I agree.
Go ahead, Tyree. What were you going to say?
I have two questions. First, I know last week you said that when we put a sidebar, it's going to be on every blog. So, so that means if we want to change the sidebar, if we change the sidebar, will it change all the other sidebar that was previously done?
So I want you to think about this a minute. Remember that the post page is a single page, the skeleton that all of your articles are going to go in. So if you put a sidebar on that one, yes, every single post will get that same sidebar. But if you're using just a regular page, I can do any sidebar I want to, and there'll be individual sidebars on each page. So you can conceivably have 52,000 sidebars for 52,000 different pages you have on your website. Or you can create one sidebar and save it as a personal item and just add it to each page, whichever way you want to do it.
This is just something else. Okay, another question is, I have two more questions. The other question is, when you are doing, like, do you have a specific size for the sidebar and a specific size for the content space, or you just do it just by site?
I personally usually get the standard, what's it called, a skyscraper size banner. Hold on a second, and I'll see if I can find the standard size of that. When you go, let me show you guys. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see this. So hang on, let me find you guys again. When you start talking about sidebars and standard advertising sizes, you need to take a look at what those standard advertising sizes are. And for some reason, I can only remember a few of them. So I'm going to type in standard banner sizes.
So I can do the same thing for a content box, standard size content box.
Yeah, so right here.
Okay.
And here's the skyscraper right here. And that is 120 by 600. So that's going to be narrow and tall. And that is a very standard banner. When you go to get banners from somebody that they have a product that they're selling and they want you to be an affiliate, this is one of the sizes of banners that they would normally give you. Okay. So you want to kind of follow that general rule of trying to stick to that size, because here's what's going to happen is if I'm going to be an affiliate of products and promote their items and maybe use those banners in the sidebar, then I want my sidebars to be pretty standard.
Okay.
Because it would be weird if I had an advertisement for, let's say that I had an advertisement of one of my own products, Social Media Explosion, and it was 300 pixels wide. And then in that same sidebar, I had the skyscraper that was 120 pixels wide. They wouldn't match. It would be wonky. So you want, when you do a sidebar, you want to try to have a standard size that you're working with. Okay.
Okay. Well, when we're creating a sidebar and content bar, is there a feature on the blog to tell us the size it is as we're trying to size it, or we just have to understand it by sight?
Yeah. When you go to the image and you click on the image, you've got those things on the side that you can click up and down on size.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm having to get back into things because for the past 3.5 months, I've been busy trying to stay alive. So yeah, thank you.
I know. We're so glad that you're back. We'll take you any way we can get you, Tyree.
You all have been a blessing to me. The other thing I want to say is I was on the AdSense training Saturday. I'm still trying to figure that out. But that which you mentioned earlier about AdSense, all of that can also go on this blog with these different features.
It will. Right now it cannot because of the coding issues. If you take that iframe code and put it in, when they click the link, it will open in that little bitty box. So what they're working on is when you click the AdSense link, it will open into a full website, a full page web page. So they're working on that. That should be coming in the next, I think they said 3 to 4 weeks that'll be done and ready for us. So we don't worry about that yet because there's plenty to learn on the front end before we actually start adding that code to a website.
Can you imagine having an AdSense on different featured blogs, different AdSense?
I can actually.
This is just, I've never seen.
And here's why I can imagine it, you guys, and I will take you on my journey here. I actually have mobile apps. I have over 200 mobile apps that I've published. And every one of those have AdSense in them. Well, most of them have AdSense in them. I use AdSense. I use something called AdMob, which is in AdSense. And what that does is when I create the app, it puts the advertising in the app. So if they click on it, I make money. So over 200 apps that are on the App Store that are being downloaded every single day. People are looking at those apps. They're listening to whatever's on there as far as podcasts or watching videos or reading content or whatever it is, playing games, whatever the app is. But if they click that ad, I make money.
Wow.
That's huge, right? Because 200 apps times what? 100 downloads a day, 200 downloads a day, times 365 days a year, all that potential to click those links and make me money. And it's the same way with the website.
And you already did a training showing us how to do apps because I watched that while I was trying to get over things. I literally binged on Builder All. I really did. So
well, that's why this blog is so big, because if you write something like what Chris has done, where he's written that travel blog, and for me being a travel bug, I love to travel. Oh my gosh, I love to travel. I would be soaking up that content, and every day, every moment that I'm on that content and seeing that content, there's potential for me to click over there to go to another affiliate offer or go to AdSense link or whatever's in there. So that eventually, hopefully, Chris will make money off of me, whether it's from me clicking something or whether it's from me buying something, either way. So that's the power of these blogs, bringing people to your blog, but the system is that blog. So one of the ways you do that is you use that sidebar. And in that sidebar, you've got those things in that sidebar that you want to do as offers, affiliate offers, Google AdSense, whatever it is that you put in that sidebar to monetize the blog. Okay, so you see some of the power?
Yes, I'm seeing that I will not be watching football this season. I will not be watching. I'm going to spend the next year just binging on this blog. That's what I see. Chris and myself will not be getting any sleep. That's what I see.
I'm going to be right there with you. So it's okay.
I haven't slept last night yet. So just FYI, I haven't slept yet.
Yep,
There's nothing else out there like this.
I did sleep for a little while, but I was up at 1 o'clock this morning and I've been working pretty much straight through since then. So after you guys are done, I'll probably crash for a little bit. But sorry, go ahead. Let me do Frankie and then I'll get Bonnie.
Okay, I got it unmuted.
Yeah.
My question concerns the heading itself. Let's say he has a travel blog and you said we could fix the heading so that it automatically goes on every page. Mm-hmm. So I want to know exactly where do I go to get that done and so that it will appear on each page.
Well, let's take a look at that really quick. That's a quick little blurb. So let me kind of share my screen and I'll go back into Cheetah where all my pages are. And the first place I'm going to go is actually right here to where it says headers. And I'm going to click on that. And I already created my global header. I actually named it global header, right? So I go in and click create new header, and then I go in and edit. And this is my header. Very, very, very simple. Nothing complicated about it at all, right? It's just a menu and then my logo with the Builder All logo. That's it. And then I save it and Shazam, I have a global header. Now I go back into my page list. So here's my page list again. And all I'm going to do is go down to where those blog pages are. There's those handy dandy blog pages. And I'm going to click on the triple dots and I'm going to go to settings. And on the settings, I'm going to keep going down until I see header settings. And I'm going to click on that to open it. And then I can choose the header I want for my desktop version and the header I want for my mobile version. So for each page in this website, if I want that global header on it, I just go into the settings of that page and choose the global header and then click save. and then it will apply the global header. Now, let me also remind you that the global header, when you go into those settings, it is not making a change inside of a page. Anytime that you make a change to your website that is not inside of a page, you always go up to the very top when you're done and click republish. And that will connect everything and make sure it's all connected and working. Because if you have a global header and you go in and change something, and then you save it, right? You saved it, and you come back in and you look at the live site, it doesn't show. You have to come back and click republish. So that global header says, I've changed Mr. Page 1 and Page 2 and Page 3. Connect to me again to get the new version. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
And that's a really important thing to remember is anytime you make a change in your website that is not on a page, go back up and click that republish. You'll thank me later, I promise you. Go ahead, Bonnie.
Also with coupons and super checkout.
Yes,
yeah,
super checkout the same way. Super checkout and coupons, that's outside of editing a page. So because that's outside of editing a page, if you make a change, hit that republish. Okay.
Hey, Shelley, I just posted an example of what you were saying before about how you can put the ads on the blog on the chat room so people can see, for example, what you can do with the ads.
Let me see if I can find it here. Hang on. Oh, great. I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to share that. So let me jump into.
And it's funny, I just added it like 10 minutes ago.
I love it. I love on the fly. So this right here, you guys, is that right?
Yep. And the one on top also.
Beautimous. And that's a standard, that's a leaderboard, right?
Yeah, correct. Mm-hmm.
Leaderboard banner.
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, anytime you want to look at the standard sizes for banners, you guys, remember, just Google standard size banners and you'll see something like this pop up. And what he has right there on the top is the leaderboard right there. So it's 728 by 90. So let's take a look at it again. Right there, 728 by 90. That's a very standard size banner that's typically put at the top of a website. And then this side over here, that is a square banner. Let's see if we can see what the standard size might be. It might be like 300 by, or maybe 250 by 250 maybe.
Yeah, it's a square.
Yeah. Yep. So those are standard sizes. Keep track of those because you'll want those when you start doing a blog and you start setting up your sidebars and your top and stuff like that. You'll want those standard sizes. Okay. Tyree?
Yes, there's a question in the chat, but I also have one. Will our site bot, not the Facebook chat bot, but will our site bot or social feed or anything like that work on the blog yet, or do we still have to wait?
Yes, it absolutely will.
Mine is on there.
Yeah, because remember that all the blog really is a regular page with the blog element in there. So you can put whatever you want all around that element, including the site bot.
Site bot, social feed, okay,
absolutely.
Great. There's a good
and I think
question
I
from
Hang on,
Stacy.
you guys. The
That's
internet's being mean to me.
Yeah, Stacy has a good question in the chat.
I'm almost back. I can feel it. Okay, I think I'm back. Am I back, you guys?
Yes.
Did I
Stacy,
freeze like this? All right. Who had a question?
Stacy has a good question in the chat.
Stacy, hit me with your question.
Hey there.
Hi.
So my question is there a way in the blog or another app to let us put our social media feed, IG, Facebook, or Twitter on a page in Cheetah? Now, obviously, I know it can be done on its own, but I'm just asking in relationship to the blog, because on a blog, you could, in fact, have your microblog, which is your social media post, used in, pulled in and used sort of as a blog. So can you tell me what it can do or when or how?
No, not yet.
Is it definitely on the list?
I don't know of that one being on the list.
Someone responded to me and said, Dominic said that we did have that in Pixel Perfect and they might add it to Cheetah. So I'm just wondering.
we did have a feed, like a Facebook feed. Instagram, I think we might have had a feed. And Twitter, I think we even had a feed. But it wasn't really part of the blog. It was actually just an element that you could put in. So it'd be something that you put on the sidebar or something like that.
Right.
So I'm sure that they're going to be working on that positive, because we're getting everything that's in Pixel Perfect in Cheetah. But I've seen the layout of what they're working on, and I haven't seen that on the list as coming anytime soon.
Okay.
But I'm sure it's on the list, Stacey.
Okay, well, you can mention, because that's one of the biggest, most paid for plugins on
It's a big one.
other websites. Or platforms, people will pay for that as a plugin. So I think a lot of people would see that as valuable.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
absolutely right. That value of having your Facebook feed on there or your
Right.
Twitter feed on there, that's huge because that's
Thank
marrying
you.
up your social medias, trying to get them all kind of together and consistent across the board, right?
Right. Hey, you know what? Another question just came to me. This is really, I'm sure advanced, but something that someone was talking to me about a project they're working on. It just dawned on me. Something else to add to the long list. It would be really great in our membership sites if we could, in fact, have separate groups within the site. So just think Facebook group is all I want to say. But that's an idea that would be fantastic if you could have different groups within your membership so people could connect. In groups,
You can do that, but you have to
pages,
do it by membership groups. So you can do that. You just have to have multiple membership areas.
Got it. Thank you.
You can absolutely do that. You can have more than one membership area in a website, and then you'd have to work on the menus. Of course, that would be you'd probably have to set up some global menus, different global menus for whatever membership area they were going into. But it's definitely doable, and then you assign the group which membership areas you want them to have access to. So this group may not have access to A, while the other group has access to A and B.
So, okay, that sounds good. And just since we're talking about it, I'm just going to throw this out there for anyone who's thinking, the reason I thought of this is I was having a conversation with someone who has some work they're doing on creating something that uses Facebook groups. And I just always talk to my clients about, while it's great to use those kinds of platforms, we have no control over those. And so it's always useful to have a backup plan in terms of ways to gather people on your own platform that you have control of. So even if you have a group on Facebook or you have a group of clients or customers who you want to bring together, having something like that on in your own membership backend where there's something that they can't get or you won't give them in a Facebook group, but they can only, at least if they're registered here on yours, they can get it or get access to it, is important because we always want to have a platform we can control, because you never know any day, anyhow, what could happen with these other platforms. So
yeah, you're absolutely correct. And there's more tools coming. They're going to enable you to do that even better. We've got the chat capability now in the website, so that's huge. And imagine you having group A, B, and C and a chat in each one of those groups. So some may have access to A, some may have access to A and B, some have access to A, B, and C. So you can have different chats going in each group based on maybe their levels, basic, intermediate, and advanced. It's really, really cool. That's there already. And more is coming. So really, really exciting stuff.
thank you. Awesome.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Will.
Can you hear me?
I could hear you.
All right. Miss Stacy, Cheetah, we was talking about this morning, and I told you I've been working on something for like the last 2 months.
Uh-huh.
Stacy, I'm already working on that, and there is things that I can do now. But what I'm doing, I'm crossing Cheetah and WordPress all together. And that's the way how, what you're talking about, the RSS feeds, you can get that from any and everywhere.
Yeah, there's great ways to have some crossover with WordPress versus Cheetah. So if you've got something that you want to do that Cheetah can't do, but WordPress can, of course, then it's just a matter of menu items to be able to send them from your Cheetah page to a WordPress page and then back over to your Cheetah. And technically, if you do it right, they'll never really know what you've done.
I'm already working on that. And the groups that you were talking about, I have a group that I'm working on in my own. I'm not going to really give it out right now. I got a group called C3 Power. If anybody know me, they know I don't really do what you would say the building called church, but the C3 Power is club called church. But that's a group that I have that I'm working on right now in this. It's more than just a website.
Awesome.
I'm working on a social media site.
So everybody write this down. In 3 weeks, we're going to hassle him. Is it done yet? Is it done yet? Is it done yet? We want to see it. We're going to keep bugging you until you show it to us when you're done, Will, because we're excited about what you're building. And that's what's really neat about this platform is Stacy asked a specific question about membership groups and how could we do this? And Will jumps in and says, hey, I'm actually working on an idea right now and working on it. That is the coolest thing about this platform is you can, if you've got a brain that thinks, well, Well, you don't even have to think well, because look at what Dominic can do. I'm just kidding, Dominic. I'm just kidding. You know I love you. But the reality is anybody can do this, you guys. I think that it's really soon, my 5, 6, about ready to learn a builder all from her Mimi. Tyree?
Yes, I just want to ask a quick question. I don't know if it's been asked or answered or anything like that, but on the blog, is it on the list to have like a comment box under our comment? I mean, on our content, like a Facebook comment box or just something where people can leave comments? Is it on the list on for that?
It's coming. It is not there yet, but it is coming. And the developers reassure me that it's coming soon. So get ready for that one, because that puts the blog up another notch, right? Because then you've got that engagement that you're going to get. When Chris does those articles on Hawaii, people can comment down in the bottom. I went there last year. It was the most amazing place I've ever been, blah, 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 blah. And then Shelly will cry because she wants to go on vacation and she's ready to go. So yeah, but yeah, that's coming. So definitely get ready for that, because that is another notch. Let's go through just a couple more things that I want to show you guys before we call it a night. So let me share my screen and we'll jump into Cheetah again. And we're going to look at another element, you guys. Let me delete this one and we'll go to add and elements. And we looked at the blog groups. I want you to play with all of these and do exactly what we've been doing tonight. Pull it in, change the settings, play with it a little bit, make it bigger, make it smaller, do all those crazy things so you can see exactly what each one of these does. And then we're going to take a look at the blog lists. And for our blog lists, we've got these really funky little lists. So we're going to pull this one over. And here we have the categories. So if you take a look at this, this is what we see sometimes on those sidebars. So you can actually pull this over and put it on the sidebar, and they can actually click email swipe, and it will show all of the articles that are in that category of email swipe. Okay. If you've got social media and you click that, it'll show all the articles that are under the category of social media. So this is huge, you guys. It's absolutely huge, because this is a way for the user themselves to start really narrowing down on what they want to see. So let's imagine for a minute that Chris has got his travel blog and he's talking about all these great places to travel, and he's got them categorized by country. So United States and Mexico and where else? Africa and Germany and Italy. There you go. Italy, of course, we can't forget Italy. So he's got all those categories. Well, if somebody really wants to go to Italy, they can click Italy and see everything that Chris has about Italy. And I know I've been to Rome, I've been to Rimini, Milan, and Bologna, and to the little country that's inside of Italy. Oh gosh, I can't think of what the name of it is now. But there's actually a country like in the middle of Italy. It's its own sovereign country. And what is it?
Vatican City?
No, it's not Vatican City. We went there too, but that was inside of Rome.
It says Tuscany.
No, that wasn't it either. I can't remember. It's right at the tip of my head. What is it?
San Marino.
San Marino. Oh my gosh, that's it. We went there. So you can. That's wonderful. That was such a great country. It was a little bitty country inside of Italy. So think about all the articles that Chris could write about different places in Italy, and then put that in that category. And now the user has the power to filter those quick, right? Super duper duper cool. Oh my gosh. And this is something that you can put on the sidebar on any page, right? Right. Is anybody getting excited? Because I'm like thrilled. All right, let's take a look at some more. So I'm going to share my screen. And let's see, I don't know if the other ones are different. So let's go to add and elements, and it may be that they just look different, but I don't know. So we'll click and drag them over. Click and drag. There we go. Oh, this is authors. So now you can filter by authors. And then I'm going to add elements, and we'll click and drag this one. And this one is authors again. So click and drag those over, you guys, play with them and see if you can start filtering by those categories and by those authors, so that you can actually let the user start to drive what they want to filter and take a look at. So those are, again, awesome, awesome things that you can use on the sidebars or anywhere that you want to give your users the power to filter those blog articles. So let me go back to elements, and we'll go here to return. And so we had blog lists, and then we've got blog posts. So if I click on that, this is the same exact thing as what's showing on your post page. Just two different versions is all. But when you drag it over, it has the same functionality as what your post page has, that element that's pulled into the post page. And remember, we can pull that into any page, and it will serve similar to a post page. But let's pull it on over. There we go, just like that. And I can click on it and click that little star. And here we go. It's just exactly like the post that we have. This one is more particular though, because this one you're going to get by clicking that read more button. So this is one of the ones that needs to go on that post page, right? This one needs to go on your post page. There's not a way, I don't think, to get this on a regular page, because you have to click the read more button to be able to get to it, or you have to have the exact URL to add at the end of the big URL to be able to get to the right article, so it knows what article to pull in. Okay, so those are all the blog elements that I wanted to show you. I think we could do probably another 2 hours just playing with the configurations and making them bigger, making them smaller, playing with sidebars and what could you put on there and all that kind of stuff. But here's what I want you to do. And this is exactly what I've done. Pull them, change them, make them Mardi Gras colors so you know exactly where all the color buttons are to change whatever color you want to change, the background, the card, the shadowing of the thumbnail. There's so much you can do. So play with all of those settings, with all of those elements, and find out what you can do with those elements beyond just using them on the feed page and the blog page. Okay, that is a huge thing that you can do to kind of maximize that white space that you've got on your website. Okay, that is valuable real estate that you want to take advantage of. All right, do you guys have any questions for me? Anybody's mind blown? We know Tyree was. That's cool. We always work on Tyree. We love to watch him do the Tyree.
It's good to have him back.
It is good to have him back. We love our Tyree, and we love our Nipsey as well.
Hey, Shelley, can I share what I've been working on the last day today?
Yeah. Yes, please. Would you please? Yes. Oh, let me give you permission to share. Hang on.
Okay. It won't take just a minute because there's not a lot to it.
Okay. Let me find where you're at, and I'll get you permission to share. You are, where are you? Let's see, here is Mike.
I'm in Kansas.
I know, right? Crazy, crazy. There you are. Let me give you share permission here. There you go. All right, you now have share permission.
Okay. So I put this together this the last day or two.
Wow, look at how pretty that is. That's really nice.
I put my element down here.
Wow, I love that.
So I'm gonna get them a newsletter.
Wow.
And the one thing that you were talking about earlier about the sizes of images.
Oh, look at that.
See what happens with your image
Yes.
sizes?
Yep.
And the titles?
Yep.
So that's about all I got right now. So
that looks fabulous. Oh, and I love those sidebars, the way you've got them with the dark background and then the rounded corners. So those sidebar locations like really, really show. Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful.
Good job, Doc.
And actually, I've been working with that Content Studio to get some of that stuff in there.
Oh, good. I love Content Studio, you guys. I got the lifetime version. If you didn't take advantage of that, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I got it.
Good. That's good.
Thanks for letting me share.
Oh, yeah. We'd love for you to share. Absolutely. I wish that we had way more people sharing, because I know there's talented designers in here. You're just hiding. You're hiding. I know it. All right. Do you guys have any other questions? Let me tell Bonnie, thank you for helping me upgrade everyone. And there's a Chris, thank you for being our victim tonight. I mean, our demo person tonight. I appreciate it. And thank you so much, you guys, for being here. And Will, thank you for hopping in and sharing what you're doing with the membership areas in the different groups. You guys are so awesome. Mike, thank you for sharing your website. That was fabulous. I don't think there's a whole lot more work to do, and that's going to be done, right? So really, really cool stuff. Will, go ahead.
I can show you just a tad bit.
Oh, I knew we'd get it out of him. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
His middle name is Eric.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Let me hold on. Let me find you and add you as co-host, and you can share with us. I'm so excited. I feel like it's like Christmas time. And Will has made some great websites, you guys. It's really, really fun to watch him design.
I'm trying to, all right.
All right. Oh, wow. There, look at that. Nice.
Oh, and there's a lot more on the background, but I'm not sharing that just yet.
Very good. Well, that
That's
looks
just
good so far.
And like I
Really
said, I'm
good.
trying to make another social media account that's I'm gonna have something in the background where it's gonna be especially for Bitterroll
Yay.
because I'm gonna end this real quick because I have a real problem with getting to affiliate meetings and
I
ambassador
know, right?
meetings.
I don't know what the dealio is with that. Will, every week on Monday, he messages me and says, I can't get in. Can't see the live feed on Facebook. I don't know why he can't get in. So I gave you some suggestions. Did you figure it out yet, Will?
Not yet, but
Okay. We'll figure it out eventually.
but I have something. My special treat is I can do lives off that website.
Oh, good. Yay.
And I'm trying to find something else where I can let other people come in and do live chats on their own if they want to.
Oh, great. That's fabulous. That'll be really cool. Yeah, when you get there, Will, definitely share that with us so you can show us what you're doing, okay?
All right.
Awesome. All right, you guys. Do you guys have any other questions for me?
Yes, thank you very much, Shelly. It was absolutely extraordinary. 2 parts, unbelievable. Thank you.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm sure I could do 3 or 4 hours more. But I have to sleep and you guys have to sleep and we all have things to do. So just know that you guys can do the same things that I do. Jump in there, pull those elements in, and just try to break them, right? And click everything you can click, change all the colors you can change. Don't make it a for realsy website, make it a fakesy website so that you can do anything you want to. And if you break it and can't figure it out, you can just delete that website and move on and get another one to play again. That way you'll see every single piece of every single part of every single element. And when you start to realize the power of what you got in your hands, you will truly then be able to add those elements to other pages and take full advantage of what they can do. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to take advantage of that white space, that real estate that you have on your website, and use it to monetize, right? There's so many times we create websites and we've got that space available and we don't take advantage of it and use it to be able to do some other offers or even pre-expose them to our blog before they actually go to the blog. So check that out, play with it, and I want to see what you're making. So feel free to private message me and let me know when you got your blog ready, if you'll allow me to look at it. I would like to ooh and ah over it because it's more exciting to me than fireworks. Actually, I'm a little scared of fireworks, so that would be a lot less scary. So I would love for you to share with me. Bonnie?
Sorry. I don't know if you remember this. It was a while ago. I had found this little code thing that you put on the end of a YouTube that prompts people to subscribe. Do you know what it is? It was a question mark and something. Do you remember
what?
Private
to look it up. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I have to look it up.
Okay, I'll message you.
I don't have.
Dominic, I'll give it to you.
If anybody wants that, just private message me and I'll let you know. I just have to look it up because I don't have it memorized. But what Bonnie's asking for is when you have a YouTube channel and you want to give them the link to your YouTube channel, you can actually add just a little bitty snippet of code at the end of it. And when they click the link, it will not only go to your YouTube channel, but it'll pop up a little note that says, do you want to subscribe? And all they do is click it and it subscribes them. So it's a lot faster way for them to subscribe. If you want that, just private message me. I'm going to look it up for Bonnie to get it for her. So no worries. If you private message me, I'll just copy and paste it right to you as well. Okay, Dominic?
Yeah, she's asking for me because I asked her.
Oh, did you? Okay, well, just private message me and I'll get it.
Is the
No worries.
_ confirmation thing code.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I can look it up really fast because I see the look on y'all's faces. You're like, but I want that too, Shelly. So let's look it up. So I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here. And then I'm going to go down here, and we'll see if we can find it. Find all of my YouTube stuff.
Oh, my God. This thing that she's got.
Yeah, look, I have, like, you guys wonder how I get all this stuff? It's because I have kept everything. Everything. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God, Shelly, I need a copy of this.
All right, there's that. There it is, right there.
Yeah, the sub confirmation.
Yeah, you think you can like just click that little share button and send that to me on Messenger?
No, there's a few private things in here at the end. So no,
Yeah.
can't do that. I love you guys, but no, I can't do that.
Oh,
Right,
we
so
can't have access
here.
to her awesome power. No,
I
we can't
know,
look
I
behind the curtain.
have to keep something a secret, you guys. All right, so I'm going to put it into the chat, and you guys can copy that and just put !sub_confirmed=1 at the end of your channel URL. And when people click that URL, and if that's at the end, it just pops up real quick, a little note that says, do you want to subscribe or confirm subscription? And boom, they're subscribed to your channel. So it's really, really fast and easy.
Can you also put it at the end of a regular YouTube or a video?
No,
or just,
I think it has to go on your channel URL. I don't think it.
Yeah, it has to be on the channel.
Yeah, I don't think it can go under just a video. Yep. All right. Any other questions that you guys have for me? All right. I still have some secrets that I'll share for next week. All right. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Y'all have a fabulous, fabulous Tuesday night. And for those of you that are in the Google AdSense training, remember that we've got that super double secret group that we will be meeting in tomorrow night to be able to do our studying together on how to use Google AdSense. So I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow because, oh my gosh, I have found some incredible AdWords that are very, very valuable that we're going to look at using for Google AdSense. So get ready. That's definitely a buckle up buttercup because it's going to be a wild ride for that one. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night in that group. And then for you guys that are ambassadors, I'll see you guys on Friday. But until then, have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous week. Don't forget to not have too much fun without me and build something amazing in Builderall. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Thank you so much, Shirley.
Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye, everyone, and stay safe.
Look, hey, they designed a platform for you all. What you want, what you need is Builderall. Build it up, we just answering your call. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Yeah, you're a Builderall rock star. Hey, you can build it all, go hard. Sign up and you'll see we got it all. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Look, if you're trying to build the name of your brand that came with a plan, get your name in demand. With Builderall, you can save your day in advance. Keep the apps automated so you barely need to glance. Listen, think of all the power that you hold. It's a new globe, everyone is grabbing for their phones. Imagine the control, build your passion on your own. And the more that you connect, the more attraction they will show. Not only a sales funnel, look, this is more advanced. This will help you compete, but have the upper hand. Keep your products in demand. It's all in one spot. You don't have to calculate and feel afraid with your thoughts. Automate your response. Drag and drop your site or click map your fans. See the pages they like or use the video wrap or capture their sites. Design your own app from scratch, just how you like. Yeah, they designed a platform for you all. What you want, what you need is Builderall. Build it up, we just answering your call. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Yeah, you're a Builderall rock star. Hey, you can build it all, go hard. Sign up and you'll see we got it all. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Design with y'all in mind, let entrepreneurs shine. Tired of the 9 to 5, you starting your own grind and it's alright. They got the tools you need. The connection they designed is truly unique. Never been able to express my views with ease. I move, release, double click and knew I'm pleased. My clients as well, tired of the hoops and leaps. Too many things in the way of my truth and dreams. A Builderall rock star is what you really are. Tune in on the internet will make you a star. You don't need to study hard, all it takes is a start. Work every day and move higher till you way off chart. Stay on, never sleep on none of the apps. It's a free sign up just so you know in advance. Builderall's for the legends, nothing's holding you back. You got the tools and the plan, you can stay on track. Believe that. They designed a platform for you all. What you want, what you need is Builderall. Build it up, we just answering your call. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Yeah, you're a Builderall rock star. Hey, you can build it all, go hard. Sign up and you'll see we got it all. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall.